Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. Men's soccer with a dramatic win on Tuesday night, and we knew there was a path to potentially hosting the Patriot League championship game for the Navy men's soccer team. Of course, they had to take care of their role first, and they did that with the win against Boston University. But they got the bonus. American knocks off Army in overtime, so the Mids are going to be at home on Saturday night at 7 o'clock. And as we bring in Navy's JD Wagner, fresh off of a 9-hour bus ride back from Boston. How does that sound, being able to host the Patriot League tournament? Not only play in the Patriot League tournament final, but to be able to host this thing here at the Glenn Warner Soccer Facility for you and your teammates.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. After we won the game, obviously we were just excited to be going to the finals for the first time in many years. And then once we got the word that we were actually going to be playing at home in front of our home fans at Glenn Warner, I mean, it's like, what more could you ask for? So yeah, we're buzzing for that. It's going to be a great night. We're super excited.
There's no question that PKs is one of the worst ways to potentially decide an unbelievable sporting event. The sport of soccer, you put out not only regulation time, the 2 overtime periods, and yet your season's existence comes down to penalty kicks. It's certainly not the most ideal way to decide a game. But how much does the mindset change when all of a sudden we simply go to a skills competition at the dot, just like that, at the end of 2 overtime periods?
Yeah, it definitely does change. Like at the end of regulation and then through the 2 overtimes, at that point, you're pretty much like grinding on fumes. It's just about resiliency and grit at that point. And then when that 110th minute comes and it's time for penalties, you have to flip a switch, sorry. And basically from there, it just becomes about composure and focus. So that's kind of like the main message as overtime ends and you get into penalties. It's just take a deep breath, collect yourself, pick which way you want to go, and then just finish it from there. So yeah, it definitely does change the mentality going into penalties. Yeah.
You alluded to it there a moment ago. Is there much of a strategy? And in terms of, hey, the shot before you is gone. Now you're approaching the ball. By that time, do most of you in this sport have your shot selection picked out? Or is it a case of, hey, I'm going to walk up here, I'm going to read the goaltender a little bit, then I'm going to make that final decision?
Yeah, most guys know which way they want to go. Some guys have to change it up a lot, like David Jackson, who's our leading goal scorer. He takes a lot of penalties, so he has to change it up. He always has to be like thinking on the fly. But for most of us, yeah, we know which way we're going to go. We train a lot during practice of which way we want to go, which way is most comfortable. So yeah, I think most people know what they're going to do before they walk up.
You guys have experienced so many draws during the course of the season. Did you ever feel like at some point, this is kind of a season unfulfilled? We're a little bit better than this, or at least we deserve better results than this. And if so, how did you all put that frustration behind you at the start of this tournament with a fresh start and say, hey, let's go get this thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have like 8 ties now, if you include last night. So yeah, it's definitely a frustrating run of form. We had a bunch of ties in the Patriot League. But the thing that I think we've like learned from the most is that we haven't really lost a whole bunch. We only lost 1 game in the Patriot League. So we kind of used that. Like while we were struggling to win, we know how to not lose. And we've kind of used that in the beginning of the Patriot League tournament and at the end of the Patriot League season against American, who we're playing on Saturday. And we kind of just use that to our advantage. If we don't concede, we can't lose unless it's in penalties, obviously. So yeah, that's pretty much been our mindset, is just like we have nothing to lose at this point. All those ties stunk, but everything is ahead of us now. Just need to keep getting clean sheets and have a couple goals here and there, or maybe we'll have to win it in penalties again. Who knows?
So much leadership out there for your team. What was the key last night in those key moments, in regulation, then the overtimes, and then obviously during the PK session? What was the key from your leaders during that time to keep everyone focused? Because as you even alluded to, when you get to the end of that 110th minute, man, I mean, it's fumes, both mentally and physically, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the key messages is just like, don't let your brother down. Don't let the guy next to you down. It doesn't matter how tired you are, like how unfocused you might become. Like you need to lock in for the guy standing next to you or the guy ahead of you or behind you. And it's not just about the guys that are on the pitch. It's also the guys that are cheering us on the bench and the coaching staff. I think we have a great culture this year, and everybody coming together and encouraging each other and just keeping each other locked in, like holding each other accountable for the full 110 minutes and then into penalties. I think that's been like one of the main keys to our success.
This game is such a grind, particularly at this time of the year, because the stakes are so high. A loss sends you home for the rest of the season. Standing there, just literally standing there, watching your season unfold in PKs. How weird is that?
Yeah, it was definitely one of the weirdest feelings I ever had because obviously as a firstie, like that could have been my last soccer game ever, like in my whole career, which is it's just surreal to think. So I was literally praying as each guy was going up to shoot, like please score, please score. I was praying for them to miss or for Pierce to make a save. And I'm just happy we got through it. We executed really well on the penalties. We only had one miss out of I think 10 shots, which is a testament to like our composure and focus in those moments. But yeah, honestly, I'm just so relieved that it's over and that we're moving on to the finals.
Yeah, you kind of took one of my next question, right there as a firstie, and that feeling of not wanting it to end. How strong is that? And more importantly, sure, there's great emotion winning in that fashion, but now what are the keys over the next couple of days to get your legs back under you? More importantly, your minds back under you to finish this task on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, I think the focus right now, the goal is to just go 1-0. I mean, if we go 1-0 in this next game, we're winning the Patriot League championship, which is crazy to think. So yeah, we need to get our legs back in order. We need to recover well tomorrow and the next day, have a couple good days of training. We'll scout American. We just played them at the end of the season, so we're fresh with their tactics and whatnot. So we're going to treat it like it's a normal game, but we know the stakes are a little bit higher, and we want to keep a clean sheet. We want to get a bunch of shots on goal and go from there, and hopefully we'll prevail.
You've given a lot to this program to be able to take it potentially to its exhaustion, hopefully winning a Patriot League championship and making an NCAA tournament appearance. As you kind of look back at this journey here in kind of a small way, you feel like you're getting the payoff that you were hoping for here in this final season, given what you and obviously the others of this team have given to this program this season?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a long season. It's been a long 4 years. At this point, I think it would be a little bit bittersweet to go to the finals and not win it. But yeah, I think it would just be an amazing feeling to just end my Patriot League career with a championship. I can't even imagine lifting that trophy with the rest of the lads. That's just like something that I've been dreaming of for 4 years. So yeah, hopefully we can get the win.
All right, big fella. Appreciate the time. Best of luck in the recovery process, and best of luck on Saturday night to you and your teammates as you chase glory against American at Glenn Warner. Appreciate the time today.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good one.